You went to school. You got the job. You're working hard, but somehow you're still broke, still stressed, and still trying to figure out where your money is going. Millennials and Gen Z are facing a financial reality that looks completely different from the generations before them. And no, it's not because we're bad with money, and it's definitely not because we're lazy. It's because the system we're navigating has fundamentally changed. Hi, I'm Fran. Today, we're breaking down the real reasons why it's so hard for Gen Z and millennials to get ahead financially. Let's get into it. Let's start with one of the biggest financial weights, student loans. For previous generations, college was often affordable, optional for many careers, and sometimes even avoidable. But for millennials and Gen Z, it became the baseline expectation. We were told, if you want a good life, go to college. So we did. We colleged so hard that millennials are the most educated generation in U.S. history, with over 40% holding a bachelor's degree or higher, compared to just 25% of baby boomers at the same age. But somehow, as of 2024, millennials held just 5% of U.S. wealth, whereas baby boomers held 21% at the same age. Here's the problem. Tuition costs have skyrocketed over the past few decades. Many students graduated with tens of thousands of dollars in debt, and interest keeps growing, even while you're trying to pay it off. So now, you're starting adult life not at zero, but at negative $30,000, $50,000, even $100,000 plus. That changes everything. For example, two people making the same salary. One has no student loan debt, the other pays $500 per month in student loans. That's a $6,000 per year difference. That could have been savings, investments, a down payment on a home. Instead, it's going toward an overpriced education. Over 42 million borrowers hold about $1.77 trillion in total student loan debt. While approximately 40% to 50% of college graduates work in jobs that do not require their degree. This system is failing us. Now let's talk about where most of your money is going. Housing. Whether you're renting or trying to buy, it's expensive either way. In regards to renting, rent prices have surged in most major cities. Many people are spending 30 to 50% of their income just to rent, and rents keep increasing year after year. In regards to owning, buying a home used to be a realistic milestone. Now, home prices are at historic highs. Mortgage interest rates make monthly payments even higher. Taxes and insurance are reaching record highs for a lot of neighborhoods, with New Jersey leading the way with the highest rates in all these categories. And last but not least, down payments feel nearly impossible to save. So people are stuck in this loop. Renting is expensive, can't save, can't buy. So you keep renting, at higher prices, hopping from rental to rental, chasing new move-in specials. It's draining, expensive, and you feel like you're not getting anywhere while working the hardest you've ever worked. The truth is, we all need a place to live, and with housing as unaffordable as it is, many people have had to adjust. 1 in 3, 33% adults, aged 18 to 34 reside with their parents. That is the national average. Top states with the highest rates are New Jersey, 44.1%, Connecticut, 41.3%, California, 39.1%, Maryland, 38.5%, and Florida, 36.6%. Why is this the case? Let's consider an example. Bill is paying $2,200 per month in rent. His salary is $85,000. His student loans are $500. Car note is $700. That's $40,800 a year already, before we even start talking about other overhead expenses like Uncle Sam's taxes and health insurance. Trying to save for a home under those circumstances is unrealistic. Now here's more added perspective. The cost of living is rising faster than income. Inflation affects groceries, gas, utilities, healthcare, everyday essentials. But salaries? They're not keeping up at the same pace. So even if you're making more money than you did a few years ago, you actually have less buying power. For example, If your salary increases by 3%, but your expenses increase by 7%, you have a net decrease of 4% in buying power. You're effectively broker than you were last year. This creates a silent financial pressure where you feel like you should be doing better, but your money just doesn't stretch like it used to. Median household income has grown from roughly $21,000 in 1980 to $83,000 in 2026. While nominal income has increased over 300%, this growth has barely outpaced inflation, representing only an 18% increase in real purchasing power over 45 years. National median home sale price in 1980 was between $50,000 to $60,000. Today, the national average home sale price is $436,000. That is over an 800% increase in median housing prices alone. Housing, education, and healthcare costs have risen far faster than salaries, reducing overall affordability. If you have kids, or are even thinking about it, let's be honest, you're in the trenches. Childcare is expensive. In many areas, daycare can cost $1,000 to $2,500 per month per child. That's like paying a second mortgage. For many families, it creates a tough decision. Both parents work, with one parent's paycheck utilized essentially just to pay for childcare. Or one parent stays home, losing income entirely. Either way, it impacts financial growth and security. And it's one of the reasons many millennials and Gen Z are delaying having kids or choosing not to have them at all. Interesting fact, the middle child is considered an endangered species or heading toward extinction, driven by shrinking family sizes. As families move toward having only one or two children, fewer middle positions are available, with many families opting for smaller, more manageable dynamics. Another thing people don't always mention, support systems have changed. In previous generations, grandparents often helped with childcare. Families lived closer together. There was more built-in support. Today, many grandparents are still working, not financially stable enough to help, or living far away, maybe out of state where their retirement can be stretched further. So now, parents are doing it all, working full-time, paying for childcare, managing a household without the same level of support. That adds both financial and emotional strain. And if you are unfortunate enough to have an ailing parent in conjunction with a small child, you are in serious financial and mental distress. There was a time when one stable job could support a household, kids, savings, retirement. Now, many people need multiple streams of income, side hustles, freelance work, just to stay afloat. And even then, it can still feel tight. This isn't about ambition anymore. It's about survival. Let's talk about retirement. Previous generations often had pensions, guaranteed income after retirement provided by their employer. Today, most jobs don't offer that. Instead, we have 401ks, IR, as self-managed investing, which means your financial future is now your responsibility. And if you're already struggling to cover today's expenses, saving for retirement feels like a luxury. So when you look at the full picture, starting life in debt, high housing costs, rising inflation, expensive childcare, less family support, multiple jobs needed, and no guaranteed retirement, it's not hard to see why so many people feel stuck. This isn't just about budgeting better. It's about navigating a system that requires more and gives less. But here's the important part. Understanding this doesn't mean giving up. It means getting strategic. Because once you understand the game, you can start making smarter moves within it. If this resonated with you, make sure you watch my next video, where we're going to talk about what you can actually do to start gaining control of your finances, even in this economy. Because yes, it's hard, but it's not hopeless, and you're not alone. Thanks for watching Fran's Finance Facts, where real life meets real money. I'll see you in the next video.